Yo, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report. This is the Piper Academy Network, and we come at you every day at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at Market Open, giving you guys what you need to know so you can have some knowledge, because knowledge is profit. Guys, you can see a lot of green here around me, but the one we're going to talk about today, right there, TRX, actually up 53.6% despite a massive pullback from a 100, and I measured it, 103% daily candle. Guys, looking over here, you can see it right there. That is a daily candle, and that is a 103% move there to the upside, getting a sharp pullback. We're going to look for where that support level is at, where we can maybe find a little bounce, another opportunity for it to find some footing. We're going to look at all that. Right now, guys, market open is coming in the green across the board. So Dow Jones, S&P, NASDAQ, all to the upside. So we're going to be breaking that down. We're going to be looking at the charts. We're going to be looking at some news articles. We're going to look at some economic data. We did get private job numbers that came in this morning. They were not that great. I'll tell you that now. All this and a whole lot more today right here on the Piper Academy Network. This is the Morning Market Report. Let's get it. Classes in session. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the show, guys. I appreciate you all being here, but the person that I really appreciate being here right now is my co-host. It's the OC guy. What's up, bro? How you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic. Last minute a shirt a change because today I was wearing half of it green and it was like a floating torso. But other than
Yeah, that
that,
was not
doing
working.
fantastic.
Not working at all.
I know. It looked weird AF. Yeah. But I mean, other than that, pretty good day. It's chilly down here. I mean, finally it's chilly and I see crypto just flying. What else could I ask for, right? I mean, everything is it's pretty awesome.
It is. It is. Everything's looking pretty decent today on the charts. Just so you guys know, today may be a little bit of a shorter show. I've had no coffee. None. And if you know anything about military soldiers, we operate and survive strictly on caffeine and nicotine, and anything beyond that, we start to break down. So no caffeine today. I do have medical labs that I have to go do. So we might cut the show a little short because I was supposed to have been there 33 minutes ago, but you guys are more important than my medical health. So I'm here. I'm here now. Um, I told OC this morning when he came on the show, I said, hey, I haven't had any coffee. And I told him why. And he goes, well, my condolences as he picked up his coffee cup and took a drink. I love you, OC. Let's go ahead and talk about some of this economic data that came in today, because we did have a little bit of news. So I guess let's run through the news. We'll do that. And then we'll come back and we'll take a look at the Bitcoin, charts. Let's do that. See, brain's not even working. No caffeine, man. I'm telling you, this is horrible. Yeah, let's jump to the news. Let's go. Guys, fear and greed index sitting at 78 right now. We are in extreme greed still. Probably going to be here for a while. Just so you know, might get a little pullback that refreshes it, but overall, probably going to be in extreme greed a lot in the months ahead. So, market cap, guys, up to $3.7 trillion. Guys, we're closing in on $4 trillion market cap. It's insane. This was yesterday like 3.5 something. So if you just think about the growth rate that's going on right now, it could be really good. We are starting to see the volume slow down a little bit. In the last 24 hours, down about 0.1%. So this might slow down a little bit because volume's slowing down. So what's crypto bubbles looking like? Let's give that a refresh. There we go. Get that across there. Let's look at the market cap daily. You see Bitcoin's up 1.7%, Ethereum up 5.1, BNB up 22.1, XRP up 4%, Solana 5.9, and Doge 4.2. But you can see right there, down there at the bottom, guys, that one at there. Just move it. Let's move it center mass here. It won't move that quick, but it is up 54.7%. Jump over here, you'll see it. Kaya is up 30.6%, HTX up 35, Ape 31. So a lot of big movers. Sand, we've been talking about Sand here on the show. Is a good play for gaming. Sandbox is up 28.9. Let's go down here and take a look. Bitcoin is currently at $96,228, up 1.7% on the daily there. Let's bring this in just a little bit. Thank you much. Ethereum sitting above $3,700, up 5.1% on the daily. XRP up 4%. It's at $2.57. BNB moving up a position to number 5, taking out Solana. Solana dropping to number 6, up to $232 on Solana. $774 a token. Just under $775 for BNB. Cardano continuing to hold its own. It's 1.4% up for the daily at $1.20. Taking a breather. It had a really good run. But guys, Tron has moved into the top 10. It is now up one position, up 54% here, 78% for the week, up to 35, we'll call it 36. We'll round it up. 36 cents there for Tron. Avalanche dropping one position, giving up that spot to Tron there, up. Guys, overall, pretty much everything's up 10, 9, 10, 20%, except for, your obvious, your very large caps. Bitcoin and Ethereum, but even Ethereum's up 5.2% today. So rounding out that top 20 is Litecoin. Uniswap, though, on its way up to number 21 right now, moving up 2 spots, taking out Near's position. It has moved up 15.6%. I think we might see a lot of DeFi protocols start to like native tokens, Uniswap, stuff like that, really start to get some movement into pumps. So be watching those guys. I think as we get into the deregulation phase, we might see some DeFi really start to take off. So SWE, we'll finish it out. SWE is down 0.03% there, moving one position down to number 19, losing that number 18 position. Reminder, guys, looking at this again, we just talked about this. The Dow Jones is up about 0.6% at the market open. The S&P up about 0.3% at the market open, and the Nasdaq coming in hot, up about just under 0.6%. The Russell 2K is starting to drop, and guys, look at the VIX. We like to see the VIX not be green. It's red right now, so that's a good sign for the markets today. Looking at this ADP change, this is the private employment data that I was talking about this morning. I said, look, guys, this thing is sitting right now. I said it was 184. I don't think that was right. I think this was more like 148 before. Anyway, they got a revision on it. So there's a revision on it. It's a consensus 150 forecast. Maybe it's like 154, I think it was. And then we said, look, it's going to be somewhere a consensus below or a forecast above, so on and so forth. Actually came in with a revision, making it 184,000 jobs. The actual jobs numbers coming out on this privatized job numbers, 146,000. Let's jump in here and see what it says. Private businesses in the U.S. added 146,000 workers to their payrolls in November 2024. This is the least amount in 3 months, following a downwardly revised 184. So it was downwardly revised, not upwardly. 184 in October, the slightly below forecast of 150,000 jobs that they were expecting to see. The service producing sector added 140,000 jobs, led by education and health with 50,000. There's full breakdown there. Any big shocks here? No. Professional business services, 18,000. Overall growth for the month was healthy. Industry performance was mixed. Manufacturing was the weakest that we've seen since spring. And we've said manufacturing, construction, and retail. I'm watching all three of those. They are all continuing to show weakness. Even this latest report showed manufacturing weakening. Financial services and leisure and hospitality were also soft. So that is what we had there. A little bit of weak numbers today, but it seems like the market is shrugging it off and driving on. Tomorrow, Friday, this is the one that everyone's really watching for. So don't be surprised if tomorrow we do get a market sell-off coming on the foreshadowing of Friday's data, non-farm payrolls. We got non-farm payrolls and unemployment data, and there is a chance that we could have a higher unemployment rate coming in on this data on Friday. So tomorrow I am expecting a bit of a sell-off. Where are we at here? Let's go look at this. Because we've been following this. I told you, typically we have a green November, we have a green December. We were like 1.37% to the downside yesterday. Now we're at 0.67. We are going the right direction. We're going the right direction. That's all that matters, right? Did you guys hear about this? South Korea declared martial law. And because of that, Bitcoin crashed to a currency transaction currency exchange equivalent of $65,000 Bitcoin in South Korea yesterday. One analyst said South Korea's limiting of the market to a few players helped cause a sudden decrease in liquidity. Can I get off there? Thank you. There we go. Come back. The disappearance of key market players and the liquidity crisis contributed to a $30,000 drop in Bitcoin prices on South Korean platforms after President Yoon Suk Yeol's, I'm sure I butchered the hell out of that, but after declaring martial law, people probably think Yoon Suk. On December 3rd, Yoon imposed martial law during a live television address, citing the need to eliminate anti-state elements and address threats posed by North Korea's communist forces. The declaration triggered an immediate market disruption with Bitcoin on the South Korean exchange Upbit dropping to as low as 92 million won, which is about $65,000. This looks like that big drop that we had during the COVID-19 crash back in 2020, doesn't it? One analyst attributed to the sharp decline to a sudden disappearance of liquidity. Lack of liquidity sends it to $65,000. The reason is simple. It is shockingly hard to enter the Korean market and trade there. This means that only a few players can provide liquidity. Remember, you got to have a buyer to sell, and you got to have a seller if you're going to buy. And when they pulled out, there wasn't much going on there. So let's jump back over here, guys. They have since the recovery of all of that was because they did lift that within 24 hours. They lifted the martial law. But yeah, they had a $65,000 Bitcoin in Korea yesterday. Would have loved to have bought that. OC, what would you do if there was suddenly a crash to $65,000 Bitcoin right now?
I'll buy the hell out of it.
Right? Just saying. Guys, let me know. Let me know. Would you
Absolutely.
have been scared? Would you have been scared out? Or would you have bought $65,000 Bitcoin yesterday? Obviously, it was going to be difficult to buy because of lack of liquidity. But if you in the US, if it was something, we had a COVID-19 black swan and we dumped to 65K right now, that would be like a 33% market drop. Would you buy the dip? Would you buy a 33% dip? Because I'll tell you, you probably have other 30% dips coming in the future. It typically happens every cycle. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing there on that. Let's jump over to the chart. Crazy though. Crazy. Like what year is it that we have presidents declaring martial law and locking everything down? I'm just saying. This is my coffee bean free coffee. It's made with all of the good stuff of the coffee without the bean. They call it water, and I'm not very pleased about it. I really want my coffee, man. All right, let's go take a look at. Let's go take a look at. I want to take a look at TRX. We're going to talk about that, and then we'll talk about Bitcoin. Crypto Trace said I'll be selling toe pictures online. Arsan said $60,000 would be fear and possibly beginning of the bear market, in his opinion. Arsan, actually, historically, we have 30% pullbacks easily in bull runs, like in bull cycles. Matter of fact, I'm sure OC can pull that up and show you historically during the bull run, 30% retracements. 60,000 wouldn't be that far off on that. So I don't know. I don't know that I think at this point right now, it might scare a lot of people and it might be a slow grind back up, but I don't think that it would be the trigger of a bull market this right now. Just my opinion, just one man's opinion. Let's jump over here and take a look at TRX. All right, TRX guys, this is what happened. So see what had happened was we had this 103% candle move to the upside. And there was some key levels up here. Let me turn on my trend-based fibs. You'll see that was the phase 13 golden pocket. I've done these a long time ago, showing you guys like where we were based on this area back here. You guys see this? Look, there's white arrows all the way back here where I'm talking about this path of movement. Let me get in there. Let me get in there. And I'll show you because we've been talking about this for a hot minute. I said, look, come up, bounce, pull back down, bounce on the the ribbon here and then continue back up. And that's pretty much what happened on that pathway there. So these are trend-based fibs that I put in a long time ago, and the levels have been playing out beautifully. I do have the chart share. Oh, whoa, geez, Dutch. I didn't lock my fibs, bro. But yeah, these are levels that I'm going to start dropping the charts. I'm going to share these charts in the Discord for the community, for the members. But right now, guys, we did get a phase 13 drop there, right there. That was at 44.5 cents, setting a new all-time high. You guys remember yesterday I was talking about tweezers? There's a perfect tweezers that I talk about. We came down, and I want you guys to see this purple line right here running across that 43.3 cent there. That is the daily close. We came down, we did a wick up, and it rejected perfectly on a retest of that daily close before it came down. Right now, we are trying to hold the phase 10. But what I'm really watching, let's get rid of these trend-based fibs, and let's just run a fib retracement from this bottom down here where we had a little bounce here and then bounced up. I'm watching this range right here. And the reason why is we have the 3D trend running right across that golden pocket there. And I think that that would be a good area to look for a retracement to, or the 50%. We may not even make it here. And I'll tell you why. 50% bounce to the upside from the top is usually a bullish confirmation. So there's that possibility also that could be happening. Matter of fact, if we bring, I want to see something. If we bring this up to here, that would be the 50%. But I think that we should pull the fibs from down here at this pocket, at this point of pullback, as opposed to this one. Just giving us that better range of data. Let's throw a fixed range volume profile on here, and let's talk about that. See what that looks like. Fixed range volume profile from that point over. Point of control is going to be sitting right below the 236 here for us, but we also have the value area low coming in right here also, guys. I'm going to go ahead and throw a box on here. We'll make that our range. There's a nice little volume node there also, and this is going to be coming in 31.4 cents to the upside, 30 cents to the downside. That would be the range I would look at getting in on TRX. Also, if you take a look at the oscillator down here, we are seeing that there is a nice cool off here. Nothing drastic, but we are getting a nice cool off here on the Oscillator Pro ribbon. Money flow was still looking green. There we go. Let me pull that up and show you. Money flow is still green. It is coming down a little bit. We are seeing a downward slide on money flow and the volume. But when we take a look at the side by side, you'll see that the RSI primed is not looking too bad. We do have the Bollinger Band top that's coming in right here at about 34 cents. But you can see that the RSI primed over here cooling off quite a bit down to the 50% line. Given all this time to really cool off, I'm thinking that 30-cent range, by the time that we get all of this cooled off at bottom levels here, re-chilling the Oscillator, the Pro, the RSI primed, getting all of that settle down a little, I think that we will be heading into that green cloud there, 32 to 30 cent range, and that would be where I would look at getting in. That's what I'm seeing on TRX, man. But hey, if you guys got in on that and you caught it, congrats on you. If you didn't, well, I think you might have your chance. And then Harp, shout out to Harp. He got jokes. He said, Piper, hold on. I'm going to go grab another coffee. I love you too, man. I love you too. Usually I'm just waiting for Piper to tell me what to buy. Sigh. All right. Oh, see, what are you seeing right now, like on that Bitcoin chart? Let's go talk about the pullbacks. I want to know, like, historically, the big pullbacks, and then we'll talk about where we are right now. But yeah, I need, I'm going to hand it over to you to run that one. Let's go.
Perfect. So for pullbacks, I need to pull up my charts in here very quickly. For some reason, I was not prepared for that, but there we go. Let's take a look at daily, and what I'm gonna bring it up here. And I know it's a little bit of a mess, guys, but bear with me. It is my analysis from the $500,000 Bitcoin, right? And I was measuring circles here to make sure that I can get both a measurement of the radius, and then also compare that to a triangular pattern that I was able to do. Nerdy stuff, don't worry about it. But the important part here is that we're also able to measure those drawbacks. For example, right here, and I mean, Piper is right. There's always going to be people scared. Like no matter what, people are going to get scared at all every single time, including me, including myself. And why is that? Because we have short memory, right? I mean, I do have my note right here that buy Bitcoin when it drops. Why? Because I do have FOMO, guys. And sometimes, if you're like me, that FOMO is never going away. The way to counteract it, it is just knowing your strategy. For example, right here, look at that 57, and then we have a secondary moving here. Let's take a look at also right this cycle right here from here. That was a 30% pullback. Just remember that the more market cap we have, well, those 30% drop downs will look different. Like, for example, right here, let me do that experiment. Right here, let's measure that 69%. Same shape, no changing anything but its location, right? Somewhere around here, 67. But if you just scroll it down, it's not that far, just 10% difference, right? And we can keep doing that over and over and over. And what we're going to be seeing is that, for example, that 30% gets bigger. For example, 39% right here, right? Compare it to this one right here, or let's do, what is it? A drop like that one. There we go. This more related to, right? 39%. As you can see, it will be changing on shape, and that's because of the market capitalization. But we are not that far. I mean, a 30% at this point, we'll see some will be something like that. Also, bear in mind, and I want you guys to look at this number right down here. That was weird. That number down there, that if I just pull it up here, look at how that percentage will gonna start should be moving. It's not moving at this point because I think I'm on, let me check. Yes, that's it. All right, that's why it was not moving. But look at that percentage. Now it's moving. So just make sure that when you're measuring those percentages, you are on logarithmic. All right, do not make the same mistake that I was making. So you to compare cycle to cycle, you yeah. Man, I was trying to teach that without the proper settings. My bad, my bad. So the thing is that try to compare it when you're comparing cycle to cycle to use logarithmic. That's logarithmic is for to compensate for that market cap. All right. Other than that, I mean those 30% movement. Now that I know that I'm on logarithmic, now we can know that it's exactly the same here than here. So do not be scared because I mean we already had that 30% drawdown, right? Having a 30% right now draw back down, I mean it will be somewhere around 67. So the only thing that we'll be going for, it's going to be the base of the previous triangle. Something
Yep.
interesting that I want to point out, yeah, it is that we are right on my prediction for Bitcoin 500K. All right. I'm not saying that we're gonna get there. I'm just saying that it's just beautiful to see
Boom
that we made a
shakalaka!
prediction. Yes, I mean to be completely
I don't pump
honest,
those
I
numbers up.
took the
Those are
most
rookie numbers
dramatic
in this
one.
racket.
Yes, and then I presented it, right? But it's very awesome to see it tracking as it is doing. Hopefully, we have by this December, we can see that movement in there. And I think if we get that movement, guys, we are in the right spot. And then just to finalize, I promise. And then after that movement, guess what? Guess what? A 39-40% retracement might be expected. All right. So again, it doesn't need to be candle by candle, but that's what I got.
Yeah, let me get you up here. I had FD up here the other day. I want to show what I'm seeing there also, right in line. Whoa, you're so tiny. You're so tiny, OC. Let me make you bigger. There we go. Perfect. Now let me move you back to your side. I had FD's picture in there, so now we're better. If you take a look at this chart here, man, this is just pulling the from this pull down here that we had, and then all the way over to the current price. This is pulling a fixed range volume profile. Our point of control for this entire level is 67,000. So that percentage pullback from from the top down to that would be a 32% move, and it is the point of control. Like that's what it's for. Hey, this is your average price of this range, right? So Uh, wouldn't be unheard of. It wouldn't be crazy. We have seen 30% pullbacks in cycles before. So, guys, just keep that in mind. It's nothing's impossible. Nothing's impossible. Um, but right now we're looking pretty strong. I'm going to go over and check out the 4 hour here and just show you guys what we're seeing. 4 hour chart. Can we get that? Thanks. There we go. Perfect. All right, let's jump over to my chart. There we go. There we go.
Oh,
All the gunshots, man.
shit. And I think you're muted.
Of course it is. I told you I need my coffee here, guys. I'm down here. You can see on the 4 hour, we did have this pullback here on Tuesday. This was yesterday, right back into the green. I thought we might make it down to the volume weighted average price, the anchored VWAP here. This is the top line on it. The bottom line's coming in pretty low down here at like 81,000 right now. On this chart, I have this set a little bit of a longer range on the anchor, so it's further back. And I was looking for us to come down into this range here at about 93 to 92.5 for the pickup area. Did not actually see that happen. We made it into the green cloud, guys. And yes, I know, when is the 3D trend? OC, we have got to get this thing out to the plus members, man, because it's crushing it. So right now we had a nice pullback here to about 93.5, catching in the 3D trend for the upside move. And right now we are seeing a doji candle starting to be formed here, uncertainty. Last time we had this, we were followed by a nice engulfing candle. So maybe we'll get another one here for another upside move. Looking at the oscillator, we are flipping into the green on the oscillator ribbon. And then the True 7 is also picking up here a little bit, along with money flow and volume. So nothing looking too horrible here right now. I think we're looking decent today. Just a reminder that we could see tomorrow's pullback for those Friday data. People holding their breath, waiting for that unemployment data on Friday. So would not be surprised to see a little bit of a pullback before we get to that level. Shout out to the Otter gang. They just joined us in the house. So you guys, welcome. Here, I'll even give you a little bit of quick music for you guys. Let's go. Let's go. There you go. Shout out to the Otter Gang joining us in the chat right now. If you guys are just arriving, welcome to the Morning Market Report. OC, let's talk about some altcoins here. We're at the top of the hour. We got time for a few altcoins. I'm going to be taking a look at Ethereum. It's up 4.8% right now, and Chainlink. But if you want to go ahead and actually Ondo, Chainlink, and Ethereum is what I'm going to take a look at on a rapid fire. But I'm going to hand it over to you. You can take a run on whatever alts you want to take a look at here, and we'll just back and forth. So give me one of your alts, and I'll be right back to do some ETH.
Absolutely. I want to take a look at Litecoin, my friend, because Litecoin, I was actually expecting plan A or plan B. Remember that I always, guys, I always do plan A and plan B, right? So plan A actually worked out very, very nicely. We were talking about last time that I had the analysis in here. It was just breaking this range. So remember, longing the bottom, shorting the top. Long in the bottom, short in the top, right? So what happened here, it is that if we were breaking to the downside, I will only be making it short after we were below the dynamic reactor on a breakout retest, and that's it. That's why you can see this one right here. But what it actually happened, it is not about the breakout. So your long, if you took the long, that is absolutely fantastic, which was not right here. It was right there, right? Long the bottom, short the top, take 50% out. And then what breaks out, retest, beautiful retest, not about the breakout, it's about your retest. And off we go. If you're looking at the daily or something like that, don't worry. That actually played out exactly the same. It's not about the breakout. It's about your retest. And then off we go. Yeah, a little bit, at this point, it's a little bit out of reach. I would not be chasing after a price. But what I would be doing is possibly going to the 2 hour here. Why? Because I do see a little bit more structure here. And also, let me go back to the 4 hour. Since I start seeing these kind of candles in here, but no reaction immediately, like, I mean, I would actually be looking after this candle, a drawback down area, right? But it's kind of like a not playing out. That tells me that there's a little bit more to read within that candle. So how can I read within that candle? Well, expand the amount of candles that I have in there. How can I do that? Just going down in time frame, right? So let's take a look at that time frame here. What I'm going to be looking at, it is the same classical thing that I showed you guys all across the crypto world, right? Which is the little hump, the further move into the continuation, the triangular pattern. And if you do not remember that, let me refresh your memory. I was also looking at Hive, but that's because I am underwater in Hive. But come on, where are you, Bitcoin? Here it is. Remember that that's exactly the same pattern that we are looking at on Bitcoin. The first hump, then the further continuation, the triangle, and then we measure from the triangle to start looking for possible breakouts, right? At this point, where are we at? I need my oscillator here. We are below the zero line. We still have a little bit of money flow, which means we can still do a comeback or a comeback. What I'll be expecting here will be a fake out somewhere here, maybe not enough to catch the dynamic reactor and then come back up here. Then we need to do a back an analysis in here, because if not about the breakout, it's about the retest, but only that retest to the downside will be taking effect as we are bouncing from off the zero line to the downside. All right. If we see it breaking to the upside, well, then this is not a retest. This is a fake out. All right. And then we continue with the next retest entry. So my first entry point is going to be here, and to absolutely update that, there we go. Look at that, just like magic, just like magic. Turning on my support and resistances, and there we go. That is my exact point. 113, but we still need to look for confluence. What other confluence I got? Oh, beautiful. Look at that. A predictive range alongside with my support and resistance. So I think that's pretty clear, right? Remember, your entry point will be defined, or at least for me, will be defined with the flip of the ribbon at support. So that's what I'm looking for, Piper. Let me try it back to you.
Awesome. Yeah, taking a look at Ethereum here, guys. We do have a rising channel going on here right now. Actually, it's it's a rising channel. We have a nice rising channel coming in here. You can see that we are getting a nice test on the buffer zone of this. It's coming to the upside right now, and we're closing in on the golden pocket here. Now, this golden pocket that I have on here is a trend-based fib extension, and this goes quite a ways back. Let me move this over, and you'll see those 3 points right there going back into March 2020 up to the 2021 high and then down to the 2022 low is where these are coming from. This is our previous area of rejection that we've had back here in May and also in March, was on this golden pocket, and now we are approaching that area again right now. This is going to be the third time that we're coming into this zone, and if we are able to get in here and then show it as support, guys, then we're easily heading up to an all-new new all-time high. Just so you know, not going to be immediately, but we would be seeing it come into its all-time high range of the platinum pocket, because once you get a bounce in the golden pocket, the eventual story is a target to the platinum pocket. So watching to see what happens when we get into this range. That's between $3,825 and $4,000. If we are able to get up here and find support in the golden pocket, then I think that we have much higher to go. Looking at the 4 hour right now, we are seeing a lot of strength on the oscillator ribbon, even despite this little pump up that we had here off of the green 3D trend again. I know you guys hate me. I can't do anything about it. It's coming though. Getting a bounce off of that, we had the uptrend arrow. We went into a transition, and we're just now getting into green on here, although we are getting a little high on the RSI there. Let's go jump over here. I want to see how this is looking, and we'll see what the oscillator's looking like. RSI over here on the right chart, guys, looking at the side-by-side, still has quite a bit of room to go up. I think that we are going to see that move to the upside, and also this here is the daily Bollinger Band, giving us a move all the way up to that $38,000 range. $3,800 range. I think that we're going to see this happen today. Ethereum continuing to pump. Things are looking pretty healthy on it right now, RSI wise, oscillator wise, Bollinger Band wise, and the top of this channel that we have over here, all putting us into that $3,800 Ethereum range, looking for support there. And if we get it, let's move. Let's go. OC, kicking it back to you. What you got next?
Absolutely. I have a request from Alex on crypto. I think that's what I'm reading, if I'm reading right. This is just my, XRP. This is only my very humble opinion and analysis. But other than that, let's take a look at this in here. I see that I have a little bit the same pattern that we have on on Bitcoin, right? The same thing is happening here. By the way, Alex, oh, really love you, my friend. Of course, that was a joke, but we have right here a little bit of a triangle, right? It's not perfect. It's actually a little bit weird looking here. So why? Because we have this movement up trying to break it up and then say nope, you know what, I decide to choose direction, right? And then wrecking everybody up. Be careful in XRP. Despite I like to trade XRP, it's not something that I'm holding for the long-term scenario. I'm trying to get as much as I can out of it. And of course, I trade it. I hold a little bit, but it's not my favorite coin, all right? So let's just add these two bottom lines just to do a trend line here. So let me get rid of this one. And what I'm going to be looking at is it's going to be my oscillator here. It seems like money flow, it's in a downward movement here. It's still green, so we could have a comeback out of nowhere and then punch through the upside here. I'd rather wait for lower areas to be taken. And for that, once again, let's find for that confluence on my indicators. There we go. I think I have it. Area of confluence is going to be for me this high order block, and also just as a speed bump, I think I'm going to be looking for this area. So what I'm going to be looking for is a weak action right down here, and then doing my analysis once again once I am somewhere around this area, bouncing off the high order blocking here. So for me, this is going to be a possible entry. Remember, I'm looking for flip of the ribbon while I am also in this area. It is a very powerful area as we have seen, and this might be a good opportunity to jump back into XRP. Remember to use a stop loss, because if we keep doing lower lows, well then if we lose the exactly the 2.26 area, I think we're going to visit at least the dynamic reactor at 203.
Sweet. Crux Crypto, shout out to you. I see you in the chat there, bro. Buck in here. We got Hart. Darren does things. Lots of people. We got about 100 people in here right now, guys. If you are enjoying this content, man, guys, hit that, smash that like. Go ahead and smash that like button, share it with a friend. We appreciate you all being here. Let's jump back over. We had a request to take a look at AMP, so let's take a look at that. This was one of those scenarios, again, where 3D trend, my fib trade strategy and the oscillator would have been the perfect entry on here. How this strategy works. And if you guys want this, I'll bring this up so you can get my settings. There's the settings. You guys can come back later. Pause it there and you can get them. What we look for here is once we get a move to the upside and then a sharp retracement, if it's in the golden pocket, it's a prime area for entry. So we get in on the golden pocket confirmation. Right there would be a perfect retest of that again before the move up. So we had the move that happened. It pulled up. We came back into the golden pocket. Get into your entry. Take profit 1. Take profit 2. Take profit 3. We would be sitting right now with the first 75% of our profits taken out. The last Hail Mary, we would be targeting right here. And as of right now, guys, it looks like we're getting a little consolidation bounce for a flag here for another move to the upside. So I think that AMP does have another move. It's right now in its final stage of its 4-leg move here. And that would be looking at the negative 382 at 11.4 cents. Oh, sorry, excuse me, 1.1 cents. And then we're looking at it to go up to that 0.017 range. That would be the negative 1.618 there on my fib strategy. Also, if we take a look at what we had here on the oscillator at that same period there, where we're talking about, we did have the power bar did burn out there. That's that brighter color right there on the bar. We also had the uptrend, and then we had a bounce as volume started to grow again, and the true 7 started to come up. So a lot of things there telling us upside move. Now, keep in mind, we do have a pink oscillator ribbon right now that's saying, hey, we need to cool off. But look at this. We had this cool off stage here. That was pretty much this entire consolidation window. If we start to see consolidation here along this 0.011 range on the 382, that would be perfectly fine. But we could even see this come down for a cool off down here onto the zero line, which would be about 0.009, and still be looking at a good opportunity retesting this previous high back here as support before we get the bounce there. So be watching that. I think that you got a good move coming on AMP, and that's what I got there. OC, let's kick it back to you. Let's do one more from you, and then I think we'll wrap it up and get out of here. I got to go get some doctor stuff done.
Absolutely. Shout out to Train Tuition. He has given away 5 users their condition of Piper Academy members. Nice. Thanks so much, Train Tuition. Love you, my friend. So, guys, something that I want to point out, which is a finally, it was Adam. You guys know that I'm a big fan of Adam. And man, it just was a disappointment across the year, right? But here's our last analysis. The top, right? Remember, I told you, I think we already got the top. The first Wyckoff drop, right? The second Wyckoff drop. And I told you guys, I think we got that one. So we have the first one. There we go. First one. We have the second one. And remember what I was expecting here. The last Wyckoff pattern here, but in this case, with a cricket to the upside to maybe do a double bottom pattern. What do we have there? We had that cricket double bottom pattern with a Wyckoff range. It's not about the breakout, it's about your retest. And God, thank you very much. Finally, it decided to wake the F up in here and do a little bit of work. All right, now I'm selling it. Hopefully you guys did jump in here. Something I want to point out on the daily is that we already have one of those check marks. Can this still go up? Absolutely. And I do think that we're going to keep moving upwards, especially since we're into a parabolic movement. But so far, we also need to pay attention that we are in a resistance area. There we go. Before we have a big space. So what am I going to be doing? Of course, TP number 1 and leaving the rest for TP number 2 at 12.56. By the way, guys, if you did not jump into this trade, don't worry. There's going to be other opportunities. Do not run after or do not chase after prices that usually do not end up well. Nonetheless, if you are feeling extra risky and you do want to do it, this is not financial advice, but at least wait for a retrace on a support area. I look at just a tiny ADB where you're going to be okay losing a portion of, right? And then aim to the next target is set your stop loss somewhere around 9.20, 9.20, all right? Other than that, that's what I got, Piper.
Awesome. Guys, I appreciate everyone that joined us today. OC, Bitcoin, we're getting a little bit of doji there. I think we're going to have some upside, but what will happen to Bitcoin's price if people smash the like button? That's the question.
Oh my God. Guys, have you seen the $500,000 Bitcoin? Every single time you click it, the candle goes up a tiny little bit. So do not let the bears click the least like button because they're going to win. Click the like, and make the price of Bitcoin pump up.
Even if you're a bear, you can smash the like button and you can share too. You can share it out. But guys, thanks for joining us here today. Don't forget, we got 5 shows here on this channel. We have at 4 p.m. Eastern today, we're going to be having Trade Intuition with Trade Academy, showing you guys how to learn the art of trading. So go check that out. This evening at 8:30 p.m. on the East Coast, we got the Crypto Nightcap. Great show last night, by the way, on Billy Goat Tells with FD White and Trade Fly on there. You guys did phenomenal. Loved hearing your guys' stories more in detail. And then, of course, Markets After Dark tonight with Lunar Beaches. And then tomorrow morning, we started all over again. BC Port Corp with Good Morning Crypto, and we'll be back at 9:30. OC, thanks for joining me today. Everyone in the chat, thank you all for joining me in Trade Intuition. Much love to you for the 5 memberships that you gave out there. Welcome to those new 5 members, 5 new members to the alumni. We appreciate having you guys all here, and we will be back tomorrow morning. Until then, trade safe. As always, use a stop loss, guys. We'll chat you later. Bye.
We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep keep on rolling out the wheels flow low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the army piper acolytes. Trade flag at the soul, train ready. What a line from OCI, form a Mexican spaghetti. Yo, crunch crypto with a deep dive to reject dime. And if you like the visual powered by Car Prime, then you will part of that numb not a sore spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling out the wheels flow low. Sound off.
To get with them, the ZTS rhythm. Rip it, Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean?
That was awesome, dude.